kiss? Hello, can I get a kiss? Here. She didn't want to say hello, actually. So, hello readers. So I'm assembling my summer TBR, and it has just one book on it, and that is Doris Kearns Goodwin's Team of Rivals, The Political Genius of Abraham Lincoln. It is almost 900 pages, so it's pretty thick. I think this has been on my TBR for over 10 years. With the 4th of July right around the corner, and with it being the 250th year anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, I just felt like this was apropos to put this on my summer TBR and work my way through it, because in one sense, where the Declaration of Independence is granting the 13 colonies independence, Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation is granting all people across the United States those same freedoms. And so I thought that was very important, not only for that, but for the political times that we're in, can always feel like we're so divided, and you know, you may not like this side or that side, or you may have strong beliefs about this or that, but I think that there's something to be learned from Abraham Lincoln's strategy of bringing on all of his political opponents into his cabinet to not only help him achieve success in the office of the presidency of the United States of America, but also to show what true unification looks like, especially during a time of strife. For those reasons, I am so excited to read this. I have already started, actually. I'm in the middle of chapter 2. Because it's such a long book, I think I'd been intimidated by it for so long, so it just sat. So there are 26 chapters in this book, and my goal is to just read a chapter a day, so I'll finish it hopefully by the end of July. That's sort of like the goal with me in this book. So me and this book are going to be besties for the remainder of the summer. So that's my main sort of course for the summer. I also have some fiction picks that I want to get to maybe after that. The first of those is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This was in my last video, but I ended up, since I filmed that video, I took this outside to go and read it, and I actually ended up damaging my copy because I fell into a lake, so it got super waterlogged, and I had to wait for my new copy to come in. This is obviously a classic romance novel by Jane Austen. I want to work my way through all of Jane Austen's bibliography, and because I read Persuasion last summer, I am going back and reading Sense and Sensibility, her first published work, this summer. Speaking of romantic classics, I've also got Edith Wharton in The Age of Innocence. This takes place in 19th century New York in high society, where a man is engaged to this woman, but her cousin comes into town. She sort of gets the gossip flowing because the cousin has divorced her husband. And the main character, though engaged, falls for the cousin. I just think that this will be something nice and refreshing to read. I read Summer by Edith Wharton last summer, and again, it was almost the same as Jane Austen, where I just really enjoyed it and fell in love with the language and storytelling aspects, so I'm excited to get to this. So then I've also got something that I don't know if it's considered romance technically, but I've got A Green Equinox by Elizabeth Maver. This was shortlisted for the 1973 Booker Prize, and it is about a bookstore owner who falls in love with her lover's wife and her lover's mother. So my guess is that it's going to be super juicy with the drama, and because how do you fall in love with, so you have a boyfriend, but you also fall in love with his wife and his mother. I think that gets so... To me, that's very messy and something that I enjoy reading about, the mess of it all. I've got 2 more contemporary books. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times, but I'm not buying or borrowing any contemporary fiction. It's just not for me right now. These 2 books are more on the contemporary side. However, they are translated from another language. Over the past couple of years I've read quite a few translated works and I've actually really enjoyed them, so hopefully these will elicit the same levels of enjoyment. And the first of those is Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. This is about a lonely 38-year-old woman who ends up meeting her former high school teacher at a local bar and how they navigate their relationships. Pretty quick, it's less than 200 pages. It's translated from Japanese. I'm hoping to have more luck with this, and I already owned it. My goal is to work my way through the contemporary fiction that I do have, whether translated or not translated, so that I can really sort of determine where I stand with this genre. And lastly, I've got Colony by Annika Norlin. It is translated from Swedish. I believe this was originally published in 2023 and then translated in 2025, so it's relatively new. So I'm not too familiar with the plot of this, but I think in general it's about this woman who's like burnt out from her city life and city job, so she goes to the country for a bit of respite, and there she runs into a cult. I think it's more about the character studies of each of the people in the cult. So what really interested me about this book is that it's supposed to serve as a social commentary and explore the ways in which we have power over others and that others have power over us. These are the 5 fiction books that I have prioritized after finishing Team of Rivals, but really and truly, the only book on my summer TBR is Team of Rivals.